Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my corner of the internet once again. My name is Jason and today we're playing some more Daggerfall, which is the second game in the Elder Scrolls series. Last time we came to this dungeon for a reason I've already forgotten, but I'm pretty sure we're here searching for something. What was in my logbook? Oh yes, I gotta find some malachite and bring it to the Underking, I think. Oh, yeah, I probably have to go to the Underking. Well, that's fine. I had some business over in the Dragentail Mountains. Anyways, I had a bunch of money I left in my banks over there, so this kind of gives me the excuse, the reason to go back there. I just wanted to see if anyone was around those corners before I decided to attack this guard. So we're gonna go ahead and hack and slash this guy up a little bit, and then I suppose we'll switch back and then loot him, because you know that's the whole point of coming into a dungeon, right, is to get all that good loot. So I'm gonna go ahead and steal this guy's money. It's 270 gold pieces. I've had better, but I guess that will do. In the meantime, I'm not even gonna bother equipping a weapon. Oh, do you see me? Oh, there we go. I'm like, oh. And once again, I'm gonna close the melee range because it appears that arrows can actually hurt me when in my werewolf form. So, if I see an enemy who wants to sort of stay at range and shoot arrows, it's in my best interest to go ahead and get right up and close and personal with them. Now, I'm not. Darn it! This is actually going to be very. This is going to be aggravating. The body has no treasure. Of course, it has no treasure. Now, I'm going to look at the date. Let me take a look at the date right now. Right in the middle of combat. You know, the 15th of Evening Star. When it switches over to the next day, if I happen to, you know, still be transforming back into werewolf form, then I'm going to know that I'm transforming back because I need to feed on the blood of innocent. The plus side to this, though, is we can safely conclude that the people I am slaying are not innocent. That was actually kind of scary. For a brief second, my character screen came up real quick, and I saw the werewolf for just an instant. And even though I know that I'm a werewolf and you know all that stuff, the fact that it's just sort of flashed on my screen with me not expecting it, you know, it's actually kind of a scary image. Just like, take a look at that. That's actually a pretty cool looking scary werewolf thing. Like, really? Yeah, it is. Anyways, according to the little yellow thing on the left-hand side of the map, this doesn't look to be as big of a dungeon as the last one I was in, but you know, famous last words, there might be a lot of verticality to this, because that little yellow thing does not, oh. The little yellow mark on the left-hand side of the map, you know, it shows where I am, it shows where the entrance to the dungeon is, but it doesn't really tell you much about the verticality. So for all we know, you know, this dungeon is huge and it goes down and it goes deep, which I'm really hoping it doesn't. I'm just kind of hoping to. There we go. I hit the lever. Yeah, I'm just kind of hoping it just sort of stays, you know, nice and standard within those boundaries. And I do gotta say though, I like the oh, this is a new one. That's kind of cool. You got the forms that are all on fire kind of thing. Well, they're not. They're holding fire. They're not actually on fire. Well, I guess technically it's on fire because. Anyways, I don't know. I like that. That was a cool little touch. Very cool. We're gonna continue running through here. But yeah, it's gonna be a bit of a pain having to always switch back and forth. I'm kind of tempted to go ahead and, you know, rest just so that I can get to the next day and see if, you know, if the, come on brain, yes, if it's the innocence or if it's just the actual moon. What was that? Was that me? I'm having, okay, no, that was an orc. I hate that because I'm having a hard time telling the difference between my scary noises and the other scary noises. Hey, what's up, other guy? I just like took out your buddy back there, and I'm gonna like slay you now. An orc warlord, and we have some stuff all over the place. Okay, well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to loot stuff, and if I can't loot it, then it's just not meant to be looted. I think this is actually just laying around for. Oh. This guy didn't even hear me, and I wasn't even crouching, wasn't even sneaking. That's cool. I'm just so stealthy. I'm so stealthy. I'm so quiet. Nobody hears me coming. I'm not silent death. Anyways, yeah, it appears that those papers are all merely cosmetic, or maybe not cosmetic. Well, yeah, I guess they are. The cosmetic basically it just means, you know, there for looks, essentially. So we're gonna go ahead and try to. Oh, the body has no treasure. Seriously, okay. So we have a floating candlestick. 2 of them. Wow. There's definitely some magic at work in this place. All right, we'll head back out the door and continue our lovely exploration of the area. Now, I've been thinking about this. Like, the reason I'm doing this quest first, or doing this right now, is because it is timed, right? You know, there's a time limit on here, and I don't know if this is a required quest. Even if it's not, I hate to leave a timed quest go, particularly one that was sort of just given to me. It's not like it's a Magus Guild quest that I decided to pick up, and you know, ultimately it was like, no, I don't want to do this anymore. You know, it wasn't my choice to start this quest. And as a result, you know, for some reason I feel more... Wait a second, what the? Okay, I haven't gone that way, but yet this part of the map was exposed. Okay, I'm getting a little bit turnaround / confused. I thought I was here before. Okay, anyway, sorry. Distracted, I'm distracted! I don't know if the meds have kicked in yet. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and continue on this way. But yeah, I hate leaving like a quest that would have a timer on it, particularly one that I didn't choose to do myself, because that could be important. You know, you don't want to take any chances, and I want to look up as little as possible, because I like the exploration of figuring things out in games. And you know, if I get stuck on something, you know what? It's all the more satisfying when I figure it out. When I look up the solution online, you know, I feel a little bit robbed. I'm just kind of like, man. A lot of times, like, I'll see the solution and I'll be like, oh, you know, I would have totally got that had, you know, maybe my mind been in the right place, or, oh, I was so obvious, and I feel a little bit robbed of figuring out the solution. So I do try to avoid looking things up, whenever possible. So like I said, I like that exploration. I like not knowing things about a game, because it makes the game more mysterious, right? And when things are unknown, they're mysterious, there's a lot more of, there's a motivation to keep playing, to me, anyways, because there's that sense of, well, if I keep playing, maybe I'll get the answer. And it's sort of that, I guess maybe it's more of an old school mentality, where I'm driven by my desire to just experience the game and discover things myself, rather than, you know, this race to the end to try to finish the game as fast as possible. That's not exactly why I play games. I just, you know, I play them to actually enjoy the moment I'm in. Like, I've said this before. I'm fairly certain I've already said this before, so I'm probably gonna bore someone, so I'm gonna stop talking about it, but just let it be known that I enjoy simply walking through these halls and slaying rats. Sup, rat? How's it going? Like, you know, though, I gotta say, why would the rat want to attack me? Like, here I am, this giant, or did it feel backed into a corner? I'm wondering if that's what it is, because I'm like, what thing in its right mind would say, look, a werewolf, I am going to attack it? Like, actually, even a person, like, what kind of rats are these? These have got to be some weird, freaky, magical, mutated rats or something, because I don't know of any small creature that size that in their right mind would say that, you know, they would decide to attack a creature that much larger than it, unless it was, you know, like I said, backed into a corner. But then there you are, Jason, you know, early 90s AI is not exactly, it's not exactly fair to pick on it for being, simplistic. You know, it wasn't possible at the time. Actually, I could probably argue that a little bit. Descent. I started a playthrough, actually, I've got to finish that playthrough. I wasn't too happy with it. Eventually, by the end, I was just kind of, I don't know, I just, my commentary was crap. I think I might have run out of things to say. I was a lot more inexperienced then, too. I find I've gotten a lot better at being able to try to, you know, sort of fill the air and actually have interesting things to talk about. And editing, I was also playing a major role in that. I've actually gotten a lot better at editing things. So, you know, I might go ahead and go back to Descent. And the reason I bring up Descent is, it had some pretty good AI, not even just for the time. I find even today, the Descent games have some pretty cool AI. You know, the way the enemies behave in that game. If you're not familiar with it, I can't really recommend my Let's Play. I might restart the, you know, I'm not restart, but continue the Let's Play, and it'll be from a later part of the game, but it'll be kind of like a quasi-reboot, if you will. And hopefully I'll be able to share a little bit more of that game and some of the little cool things about the AI in there. But The AI in, we'll say, in Daggerfall and Arena, because they're pretty much the same thing, basically boil down to, hey, the player is there, move towards them and try to kill them. And, it's like I said, it's incredibly simplistic. Alright, I gotta say though, I do like the layout of this, this dungeon. Now, can I loot these shelves? No, I can't. I hate that. In shops and stuff, I see those and I'm like, oh cool, I can go ahead and loot that, but I can't do that here. Okay, let's see, where am I? There's still a lot of areas for me to explore. This is, I'm at that spot where I'm like, oh, I've got so many places I can go ahead and check, and that's cool. But as those places become explored more and more paths branch out, I'm gonna start to become more and more like, okay, come on now, come on. And what was the saying about me being better at filling the air? Yeah, at that point there, I basically just have nothing else to say. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll follow up on my next point and just sort of edit something out while I sit here for a second and just think about what I could say. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I will use the magic of editing to make it sound like I can constantly think of a steady stream of thoughts to share with you guys. Actually, I think that may have been a good idea. Honestly, I just sat here for a second. I was like, you know what, I'll edit out that silence, and me just sort of staring at a wall. I'll edit that out. But while I was sitting there, I was like, okay, what could I talk about? And then I remembered, yesterday I was, editing, for episode, I can't remember. It was an episode of Daggerfall. And I was editing, oh, it was, 64, I think it was. The episode where I... come on, brain, come on. Oh, yes, the lycanthropy one. A rat is able to hurt me, but... Okay, a rat is able to hurt me, but swords are not. There's something severely flawed with this logic. I guess because their attacks count as, like, hand-to-hand. It's a natural weapon, so they're able to harm me even though, weapons are not. I don't understand the logic of that, but... whatever. But anyways, while I was editing, and it was, when I had the choice of, taking, I guess we'll say the easy or the hard path to being cured of lycanthropy. And at one point, she said, the lady had said, it was, something about the stock or the, stock or sack of Sentinel is where this book was. And I took that to mean, that, there was, a book in Sentinel I needed to go find, and that's why I was, searching through libraries and bookstores trying to find it. But then the thought occurred to me, most quests, including this one, all lead you to a dungeon. And I'm actually wondering, after I get out of here, I'm actually gonna go ahead and try and go to the Sentinel dungeon. Go to Castle Sentinel, go into their dungeon, and see if that is where the book happens to be. Ooh, what are you? Ebony Right Pauldron, and it's enchanted. Well, give me that. Gimme. Steel, iron, and iron, ooh, money though. Money, ooh, almost 700. Yes, I will use the gold. By use, of course I do mean remove. Remove the gold from his person. Alright, change me back. Rawr. We're back. I'm gonna go ahead and cast, you know what? No, we're not gonna cast stamina. I'm gonna go ahead and hit you. And I bought a ton of potions, and I think it's about time Alexis... Yes, because she's transforming so much now, she needs some comfort, so she's going back to her first love. That's right, the love of potions. So she's got her potion of stamina, and she's like, gulp. Even though it looks like I casted a spell. I didn't. No, those were the sparks flying from Alexis being reunited with her true love. Potions. There we go. I think I'm gonna just start having her drink potions casually. I'm just gonna buy random potions and she'll just be out walking around town and just be like, I feel like a potion, and she'll just like drink water walking or something. There we go. And then that way she'll be able to cross those incredibly deep puddles. There we go. See, it all works out. But yeah, I was like, wait a second. This game, much like, actually, I've got to play more of Morrowind, but much like a lot of we'll say the quests in both, there, hopefully I've got all the uhs out of my system. Much like in Oblivion and Skyrim, you know, a lot of the quests tend to lead to, dungeons. I think more so in Skyrim, actually, but anyways, it got me thinking. I'm like, what if it actually meant the dungeon of Sentinel? Is that where the book happens to be? And if it is, how awesome, actually, how terrible would that feel? I don't know. I think I have mixed feelings. It's like, I want to go in there, and I want to be like, yes, I found it, but at the same time, I don't want to find it there, because if I find it there, I'm actually gonna be kind of upset that they went ahead and they just basically used another dungeon I've already been in. Wait, is that right? Have I been in the Castle Sentinel dungeon? Yeah, I have, right? That was where was that where the Loten quest was? The missing prince? Yeah, that's right, I was exploring, and then I happened to go up there. Was that Sentinel? I'm pretty sure that was Sentinel. Yes, that wasn't Wayrest. Wayrest was with the crazy queen. I think so. I believe that was it. So, and there was nothing there. That's right, because, and I think someone had mentioned that, a viewer had mentioned something about maybe, something not being there unless a quest was open. So, it's possible, actually, it's possible that it is in the castle. I think that will be my next trip after I'm done in here. We're gonna go. Actually, no, sorry. First, I've got to go back. Oh wow, I've got to go back and talk to the Underking. That is going to be. That's gonna be something. Actually, it's gonna be kind of exciting to go back there because I was pretty weak the first time I went through that dungeon, and I died a lot. But I feel like it'll be kind of interesting to go back as I am now. And just sort of just stomp on top of everything. Just crush everything. I think that'll be cool. Now I know someone off to my left, but I'm basically, I moved out of the hallway just in case they were a ranged enemy and they had seen me. So basically I pulled this enemy over into this sort of adjacent hallway just in case the other person would happen to be an archer. Because like I said, I'm trying to avoid taking damage if at all possible. But you know, she didn't see anything, and she's got a big axe. So I'll bring her over here so I can go ahead and loot both of them basically with one transformation. I'll be able to transform once back into human and then loot both of them. Before transforming back into werewolf form. One thing I probably should check though is my maximum health. That is one thing I did look up online was basically the effects of lycanthropy, and if I don't feed, my maximum health will be going down over time, and we don't want that. We do not want that. Because that results in, well, that results in death. And we don't want death. I'm kind of allergic to death. It's kind of like something I'm like, I don't really want that, but... So, you know, we're gonna do everything in our power to avoid the death. That's right, the death. Not just death, it's the death. Let's see, health is still 90 out of 90. I suspect that, you know, the health will go down fairly gradually. Like, I'm sure it's got a few days sort of leeway, and I think we're kind of just at that point where we're transforming into, the werewolf, and we're not necessarily at that point where, you know, we've been a werewolf for a while, we're getting really hungry, and we're like, we need to feed on the innocent. Vengeance! I'm sorry, the way I said it, the whole innocent thing, it just reminded me of Mr. Lysandus, so I was just like, I gotta say it, we gotta have vengeance! Yes. Good. That's something that will stick with me for a long time. Is the ghost of Lysandus is saying vengeance, and how much it scared me the first time I heard it. That really, whoa, that's really dark. An adamantium broadsword, 7 to 18 damage. It does a lot more damage than steel, but I'm not sure if it's really worth, you know, me picking up and grabbing and. I don't know. You know what? I'll never know if I don't experiment. Wasn't that something I was talking about earlier, is, you know, that whole experimenting and finding things out? We'll bring the adamantium sword to a shop, try to sell it, and just see how valuable it actually is. And then we'll be able to, you know, determine if, you know, in the future, do I want to be grabbing adamantium equipment, and, you know, adamantium things. Yeah, we'll do that. Door opened up, and inside we find another person with a, what is that, an axe? Warhammer? It looks like a hammer to me. No, it's an axe. Definitely an axe. Definitely an axe. Definitely an axe. Yeah, definitely. Alright, now, I'm used to, my goodness. The body has no treasure. I'm used to whenever I see this, for some reason, I associate this with, the completing of a quest because of, what was it? That one mission where we had to come in here and find that, was it a lady? Yeah, there was a lady inside one of these dungeons, and she was in a room like that. So the minute I saw that, I thought I was done the quest. I don't know why. There was that association that I had made. Our minds are such interesting things. Why does the ground look so? The texture here looks so skewed. That's very interesting. Yeah, the texture is really kind of sort of skewed and stretched out in a sort of a strange manner. Alright, and what do we got in here? We've got this guy. Actually, what's up with the cage behind him? I want to actually inspect that, because I'm sure it's just cosmetic. It's just a cosmetic thing, but it does look different. I'm trying to figure out what it is, but I can't because your fat head's in the way. Thank you for removing your fat head. Or I guess I kind of removed it. A little bit of werewolf humor there. Ha 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 ha. He didn't get my joke. Or either that or he just couldn't appreciate it. I don't know, what is that hanging from there? Well, not her, but this. It's like, I don't know, was it a strap? There's some straps or something? I don't know. Alright, well, let's continue down this hallway. You know, I forget, you know, I get to adventuring and I'm like, yay! But then I forget how kind of dark Daggerfall can be. It's a very, we'll say, M-rated game. It's definitely like, it's the, I don't know, it's the edgy. It's the edgy era of Elder Scrolls where they decided, we're gonna have nudity, we're gonna have excessive violence, we're gonna have, like, dark subject matter, we're gonna have torture, we're gonna, like, you know, they put everything into this game. I don't know. I just find that it's funny in retrospect, because when you compare it to the rest of the series, you're like, wow, they really, they got mild after this. Even, actually, you know what? No. I was gonna make a comment on Skyrim, but I realized I haven't played it enough to really, make an accurate statement, so we're gonna avoid that, and we're gonna continue on playing Daggerfall. We're not playing Skyrim, we're playing Daggerfall. Yes. Can I loot any of these? No, I can't. Alright. I've already been in that room, and I've been in this room. That would mean the last room for me to check is this one. And my stamina's getting low once again. Hey Rat, how's it going? I'm wondering if I should rest at this point, though. Let me see, what's the time? It's, 5:50. So, Alexis has been sort of walking through here and just slaying everything in sight, for at least, let's see, it was 2 o'clock that one time I checked. And I know we were fighting since before then, so think about that. She's been crawling through this dungeon, slaying things for approximately, we'll say 4 hours now. Without any real breaks. You know, she stopped for a second to sort of, you know, drink a potion and sort of relax for maybe a minute or two, but then she got right back to slaying things. So, let's go ahead. Do I want to rest? I'm torn. No, you know what? We're not. We're on a time limit. We're gonna go ahead and drink the potion. We can buy more potions when we get back into town. Besides, it'll free up some space in our inventory, right? So there's another potion of stamina, and we're ready for some more slaying. We can just keep going. Alexis got a case of Red Bull in her pack, and she is just ready for this. There we go. Even though she's in werewolf form. I don't know, the image of watching a werewolf just sort of stop and drink a potion, just kind of humorous to me. It's kind of funny. It's like, I don't know, I'm just picturing, it reminds me of this, this movie I had watched, a while back, and it was about werewolves. I don't even remember the name of the movie. It was one of those things where it was on, so you watched it, but the entire time you watched it, you were just like, what am I doing with my life? And at one point in the movie, there was this one part where I forgot to save, so we're gonna go ahead and save, and please don't crash on me this time. Okay, good, we're good. I realized I had done all that without saving. Oh, that would have sucked had, you know, something happened. But anyways, back to the movie I was talking about. And, you know, I'm watching it, I'm like, okay, whatever, it's a dumb film. But at one point, the werewolf looks at the people, the other characters in the story, and gives them the finger. It was so absurd. It just took me out of the I was just like, okay. It was like at that moment I really started to question. I'm like, what am I doing with my life? Like, the werewolf just flipped the bird to these people and then started running away. Like, what is going on here? You know, if anyone knows what movie I'm talking about, please tell me, because I have to know what this idiotic moment from my younger life. That sounds weird. I wasn't quite a kid, but I would think I was in my. Was I in my teens? I don't even remember anymore when I saw that. Man, you know you're old when you can't even remember roughly what period of your life you saw something. I know I wasn't a kid. I know I wasn't a kid. So, but if someone remembers or knows what movie I'm talking about, where the werewolf flipping people off, please just tell me what it is. I've got to know. Just for the sake of no, not documentation, but it's just one of those things you've got to know. So that, you know, when you get out with, like, people and or friends and you have a story to tell, you like, I want to be able to have all the details right. Now, can I attack you through the door? Yes, I can. Oh, come on. There we go. I killed him through the door. And there's another one. That's cool. Alright, I'll kill both of them. I don't feel like rats are really worth looting. Now, there's 3 things in this room. Can I transform and loot all 3 before I transform back? Go! Okay. We're going to go ahead and remove the gold pieces. Then we're going to run over here and grab the gold pieces. Now there's something else here. What is that? That's lich dust. That's actually worth quite a bit. We're going to take that. I'm not sure about the other items. Do we want them? No. Alright, run over and yes, I looted them! All 3! I am amazing. Okay, maybe I'm not that great, but it was kind of an achievement. Oh, I still haven't transformed back. Okay, there we go. Alright, so this room has been looted. We're gonna go ahead and save the game again, because I've got to get back more into the habit of saving things. You kind of, when you reach a certain level of strength, you know, when the enemies cease to be sort of a challenge at one point, you just kind of decide, okay, whatever, yeah, whatever, and you kind of forget to save because you don't feel as much tension. There's not that reminder that, you know, all of your progress could be stolen from you at any moment. So, you know, you're not always going, oh yeah, I need to save the game. So I've got to make sure I keep myself in that habit of always saving the game. That looks very steep. I might not be able to climb back out. Oh, I know I'm going to be able to climb back out, but it's just still kind of, oh, it's just like I've got to say, oh, wait, no, the first part was a ramp, or no, it was just really steep, and then they put stairs. Who builds these places? Really, I don't understand why you would, I don't understand why you would want to do that. I have no idea what I was doing there. It just sounded right. Okay. We're gonna run through this part here, and we're gonna go through this door, and we're gonna see, that there's 2 people on the other side of this door. So we're gonna go ahead and, you know, do our usual slang thing, where, you know, we swing our arms around, we flail around like one of those inflatable flailing arm tube things, and things around us are just gonna die. Because that's basically what it is. Because I'm looking down at you're looking at the screen and you're like, okay, yeah, you know, there's fighting going on and things are happening. But then I look down at my hand that's moving the mouse, and I'm just basically doing figure 8s with my hand. I'm just like, my hand's just kind of going all over the place, and I'm just like, wow, it's the original waggle controls, you know. Daggerfall was doing Wii before Wii was. It's the original motion control of, we'll say, of slaying something. You know what I'm trying to get at. You know. You guys over there with the subtle smirk on your face, you're like, I know, but I'm not gonna help the guy out. He could just look like an idiot to everyone, and I don't care. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Alright. So, I guess so much for my comment about the dungeon being fairly small. I was really hoping, you know, I do this every time. I'm like, maybe I can go ahead and clear the dungeon in this episode, and that way I can do something different in the next one. And then every single time it's like, wow, this dungeon is a lot bigger than I thought it was gonna be. I don't think that I can do this dungeon in the time that I have. And then, you know, then I end up disappointed at the end, and, you know, people are crying, and people are frustrated, and they're throwing their keyboards out the window because they're like, darn it! Jason once again promised me we would get through this dungeon in an episode. And he didn't follow through. He betrayed my trust so many times. But this time here, I didn't promise that. I did not promise that. I just thought it just now. I was like, you know, well, actually, I didn't think it just now. I just mentioned it just now. I don't know where I am. Well, I know where I am, but I don't know where I want to be going, because it looks like I've explored that area. And have I explored this area? I have explored that area. I have explored all of the areas, except for this place right here. So we're gonna go to that place right there. How do we get there? You might be wondering. Well, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna travel west, then we're gonna head south, and then we're gonna head east. So we're gonna head west, and then south, all the way down to all the way to the bottom, and then we're gonna head east up to the top here. Then we're gonna go ahead and head north, and then we're gonna take a hook to the east. And here's an area we have not been to before. I'm likely probably just gonna kill a rat, or oh, I was wrong. I tried to use the sound to tell me what I was gonna be killing, but turns out it was guards. You know what? It was a guard squeaking like a rat. He was doing his best rat impression. That's what it was. So he was doing his rat impression. I came in and I slew him. And then his buddy, who's like, I don't know, visually impaired, he's like, oh man, you summoned a were-rat. And, oh, they're shooting arrows at me. Okay, let's close the distance there. There's a lot of rats around here, though. There are. I hear them. I hear them echo. They're in the walls, man. They're in the walls. Man, this takes a while. I would rather be in human form, and I could use my giant big cleaver thing. You know, my quasi Buster sword, sort of level giant sword, where I can just sort of like, yeah, I don't know. You know, I was thinking about that. You know, people are like, oh yeah, you know, Cloud, Strife, you know, Final Fantasy VII, and you know, the Buster Sword is so cool. I'm thinking, you know, aside from being able to lift it, there's not really a lot of, we'll say, finesse or skill needed to, well, I suppose there is skill. I'm oversimplifying things, but let's just say, you don't need as much skill. You can probably get by with some strength with a weapon that big, because, let's face it, hitting someone with something that big is a lot easier than hitting something with something smaller, and once you hit them, they're probably not going to be walking away from it. Just saying. Now, someone's going to bring up, you know, well, you know, a large sword, as unwieldy as it is, someone could dodge and then you're really screwed. It's like, yes, I know. I mained Nightmare in Soul Calibur. I know what you're talking about. I'm trying to be silly. There we go. There we go. Me arguing with the hypothetical internet people again. I tend to do that a lot. It's like, I know, I can sort of see into the future. I can see into the future, and I know the kind of things that are going to be levied at me, the criticisms, and then I try to sort of head them off at the pass. I'm like, I know, I've considered that. I've considered everything. I know everything. And about at this point, I'm gonna, ooh, there's water. And about at this point, I'm come to the realization that maybe I've had a little bit too much caffeine and something is hurting me. What is hurting me? It's a rat. I have to prioritize killing the rat because the rat was doing damage to me and I was like, what the heck? Alright, Barbarian, you're dead. We're gonna go ahead and loot you. That does appear to be a nice mithril claymore, speaking of big swords. He's actually got some nice stuff on him, I suppose. Maybe. Okay, maybe not so much. But yeah, at this point, I gotta just realize I've got too much caffeine or something, and regardless, my time for the episode is up. So we're gonna go ahead and save the game. We're gonna save this as end, because this is the end of this episode. So, if you like this content and would like to see more of it, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, leave it a thumbs down. Either way, I would... What I was going to say was, either way, leave your comments in the comments section, and until next time, I'd like to ask you all to game on.